What's up, everybody? This is GARDNSOUND. You know me. This is Lila the Bird. You know her, but you don't know this guy. This is Darren from Flick Connection.
What's up,
you guys
everybody?
Go check out his channel. I've linked that in the description down below. We're going to be talking about some YouTube drama today on this episode of Zero Chill. Talking about a couple different things around YouTube. It's always interesting when I bring on a guest to get their opinion, because you all get my opinion nonstop. You're probably sick of it. Thanks for not unsubscribing. How about, we focus on sticking around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people go, thanks for subscribing. I like to say, thanks for not unsubscribing.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you have a lot of free content that you can be watching when you choose to watch mine. That's great.
Right on. You want to put something on the screen other than no signal? That is a good face. Or there's the one where he's like bald.
Is there one where he's bald?
Yeah,
Nice. There we go.
Yep.
Full screen that. Logan Paul supposedly is going bald. Not me. Not you.
Yeah, I'm going gray.
Yeah. How old are you?
Guess.
27.
Oh, nice.
Yeah?
33.
33?
Yeah.
My next guess was going to be 32.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm 28. I'm going to be 29 literally in 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. The last 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a big deal.
No?
No.
Do you feel any different when you're 30?
You feel different when you start having kids.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So when did you have your first kid? How
2
long
years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah. So I was over 30.
So far on Zero Chill, we're talking about no drama. I'm just
No drama, just babies.
Background.
Yeah. It's so weird, but it's fun. I really like it, especially if you're ready for it. I will say to any young people watching,
we have a lot of young people to watch this.
The idea of being saddled with a kid when you're like 20 and don't have any support or anything would be a nightmare. I can see why people like talk about their kids as they're a burden. If you have them young and you're not ready, whoo! But if you're, settled in and you're ready, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we can move on to more interesting stuff for you.
No, that's really. I'm totally interested in this stuff. I'm talking about this for hours. So when did you start producing videos for Flick Connection? Because I mean, you've got an Instagram account that's pretty lively.
Yeah. So Instagram is interesting. I started that 2 years ago, and basically just started it as a hobby because, I basically just made a decision. I've always been into movies and wanted to do something with that, but I just did it as a hobby because I was like, well, let me not download another app game and just fritter my time away with that. Let me start an Instagram account and see if I can game that and sort of figure out how to cultivate it. And I've been in marketing, that's my job, but I wanted to try to do it as a hobby.
Yeah.
And so I started that 2 years ago. Basically, I had only been doing it for a month when my son was born. And then after a year, I think at a year, I hit 30,000 followers on Instagram. And so I'm like, okay, I can maybe parlay this into YouTube. And I'd been wanting to get into YouTube. And so I picked that up exactly a year ago. It was I think my channel started February 24th, 2017. And I've done at least a video a week since then. And then probably halfway through the year, I started with 2 a week. And then I just recently started where I'm doing 3 a week. So, but they're all short. It's short form content, so I'm able to edit them together and get them all done in a week pretty sensibly.
And normally you're talking about films, right?
Yeah, almost exclusively talking about movies. And my most successful videos tend to be movie recommendations. So I can just give people 10 movie recommendations. Watch this for this reason. Watch this one for this reason. This one's cool. And that format seems to be pretty popular because someone can spend 10 minutes and get a couple of good movie recommendations, whereas they could spend an hour on Netflix and not figure out what to watch.
So you're not getting as deep dive into it as Red Letter Media or anything, right?
I'm starting to do that, and it's starting to be a little more popular. The frustration with YouTube is I would do that, I'd put a lot of work into something, and then YouTube just wouldn't promote it, and 50 people would see it, and then it would just die, and that would be the end of that video. And now
that never happens to us, right, guys? No.
So, but now with a little bit more of a following, I can put one out, and when enough subscribers watch it, then YouTube has enough data, I guess, to start recommending it and promoting it. So it does a little better now than when it's just tough when you're starting with 0. It's tough. Like YouTube doesn't know what to do with your content. You know?
The majority of my videos, I don't know how tuned in you are to my stuff, but I did this weird challenge where I did a video every single day for a year.
Whew.
And that was what I started with.
Yeah.
And it was funny. The first, like, I'm going to say 275, 250 videos when I was below 1,000 subscribers, each of them would get maybe 30 views, 45 views, and maybe 100 if I was lucky.
Yeah.
And then so I was putting in a lot of time behind the camera on the editing machine, but when I hit 1,000 subscribers, things started to click. And so I think, and I've said this before, there's like a magic to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I
where
agree.
The algorithm starts to take you more seriously. I think now that we're seeing YouTube double down on that with their rules, saying they're not even going to let you monetize until you hit 1,000 subscribers, that's a new thing.
Yeah, and with less than 1,000, a lot of people complained about that, but honestly, before I hit 1,000 subscribers, you're not missing out on any money. I mean, you're missing out on tens of dollars before you have 1,000 subscribers. So it's not, the only thing I would worry about is not being able to monetize before you hit 1,000. I'm suspicious that YouTube throttles content that doesn't have ads running on it because they don't make any money off of it. They'll never admit to that, but I think that's probably the case, which is why I hate the demonetization, especially early on. Like, as soon as I put a video up, the first 24 hours it's demonetized, almost every single video. And it's all fairly family friendly, and it's PG-13 at worst, my content, and it's all gets cleared, but I worry that that initial day is like throttled down somehow because it's demonetized. If I knew that wasn't the case, I wouldn't really care about the one day of demonetization.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the case.
No. And I've got some data to back that up as well.
Yeah.
Like when a video comes in with that little yellow icon, I go, great, nobody's gonna see this. Because like for me, it's like, okay, if it was just removing the cache for a couple of hours, or until they fix the issue, no big deal. I'm fine with that. It's not gonna make a bunch of money off of YouTube anyway. Most of the stuff I do with YouTube is just for the ability to market myself more effectively. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the majority of my money comes from freelancing.
Yeah.
But I get my freelance clients from YouTube.
Right.
They go, oh, I've seen you do work on YouTube. I'd like to hire you to do that for me, basically.
Cool.
Wait, where was I? Hold on. We were talking about
demonetization.
Yeah.
First.
Oh yeah, this stupid yellow icon. And when when I put one up and it's like that, I'll leave it unlisted for a couple days. Because that's what my
try to let it wash out or whatever. Yeah.
And sometimes it'll go on for weeks.
Yeah.
I've got one that I put up in December. Still, and I've I've requested them to review it, send them a support ticket and everything.
Yeah, I always do request because you never. And then they tend to. I have noticed when I don't do request, it doesn't get rid of it in that first 48 hours, 24 hours. When I do it, it gets rid of it. Now I don't think they're necessarily reviewing it, but I think somehow their algorithm's just like, all right, this one's fine or something. But I've got one that I did around Halloween that's got a bunch of horror movie clips in it. And I think some of those were maybe a little bloody and that one got demonetized, and I'm okay with that one. But then I have like one that's really old that just wasn't doing well, and I felt like it was good. It was kind of about like what I consider to be the problem with PG-13 violence in movies, which we can get into that. But I changed.
Hold on. What's the problem with PG-13
Well,
violence?
I changed the title, and it has violence in the title now. And
I love watching 13-year-olds beat each other up.
Well, the problem with PG-13 violence, let's say it's like there's a lot of PG-13 action movies have a lot of shooting, high body count, but there's like no consequences. There's no blood. There's no carnage.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, that would be more desensitizing to violence than seeing
the nastiness of it.
Rated R violence, where it's more realistic.
Private Ryan, where it's like, holy shit, that guy got shot in the dome.
Where it's way more realistic, but there's these movies with super high body counts, and we consider those to be like more acceptable for young kids, where it's like, I think it'd be better to see maybe the violence. If you're going to see it, you should maybe see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an idea that I've had, and I kind of did a presentation on that. I thought it was pretty good, and it did not do. It got. I think it got stuck at like 75 views. So I changed the thumbnail and changed the title, and then I got the yellow coin.
Can we wrap on that for a minute? Do you think there's any connection between like the amount of gun-related violence we see in the United States and media like that, where it's high body count with no gore?
I don't, only because I know that they've done studies.
If you don't want to talk about this, we don't have to talk about
we can, because I do have an opinion about it. But
yeah.
there's been a lot of studies relating to violence in movies and violence in video games, and they say there's not correlated. I would say, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not a clinical psychologist, but I'd be suspicious that media coverage, constant media coverage, where the killers basically get like a scorecard every time. I think that would be more damaging.
You're talking about like mainstream media, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Just in constant news coverage that focuses on how successful the mass shooters are versus the stories of the victims, things like that. They tend to focus more on that, and I think that's probably more inspiring to the next person than John Wick.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I agree. There's a YouTube channel that I watch on the daily called the Philip DeFranco Show.
Oh yeah.
And he never puts their face or name.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Just I mean, and it's not that, and that's not my idea. There are psychologists that keep begging the news media to stop doing it, and they won't stop doing it because people tune in for it. It's gross. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. I'm a fan of DeFranco for putting his foot down and not doing it.
He's a solid dude.
Yeah.
He gets a bad rap too from the left and the right sometimes for being middle.
You can't win.
No.
Well, I say you can't win. You can win. You can't win with people that are noisy on the far left and right, but he wins with everybody else that watches him and supports his content. The majority of people are in the middle where he is, to some degree, and they're quiet.
He's got diehards.
Yeah. But they're not vocal because they're not extreme, so they just support him by watching. He's got plenty of people watching his videos. He's good. He's doing good.
Even through the apocalypse, his channel was solid, which is like a ridiculous thing to even think about. But
now, not to totally get off of the topic, but he brings up a good point related to this turd. Yeah. And it's YouTube. As much as YouTube like devalues stuff and demonetizes stuff, guaranteed they value, well, you might disagree based on your experience with your first year, but I say guaranteed they value, especially today, putting up something every day.
Yeah.
If you put something up every day.
Well, more content.
Yeah.
So that I definitely get more pushed when I release more than one video a
week.
But
they value that over quality.
Yeah.
Which,
they also value sensationalism.
Yeah.
And so, like, with me, my most successful videos have always been either an opinion piece or making a song that is currently, like, a big thing.
Yeah.
So for me, like, my biggest videos, I go to the YouTube music trending page. Spoilers! I go to the music... No, they don't know. I go to the music trending page and I go, oh, hey, look, Rockstar, Post Malone. I make a cover of that, and it's easy over 1,000.
Yeah.
2,000 views. Or I'm like, oh man, Rich Brian just put out a new song, and I cover that, and it's 40,000, 50,000 views. It's
same with me. Like I did a video.
Oh no, Logie. Oh no. There we go.
There he is.
Yeah.
I did the first video I had that took off that got way more views than I had subscribers was on Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Like what order to watch the old ones in, or just all of them.
How close in proximity was it to the release of the new
week
movie?
The new one came out?
There
I think I dropped it on Wednesday.
There you go.
Or Tuesday or something the week of, and it got 10,000 views within a couple weeks.
The way that him and his brother are gaming the machine, and it's because they're in the news.
Yeah,
I think.
I know.
So, I mean, I think initially,
but they weren't in the news when they were growing.
No,
either.
they weren't. But they had this, like, view machine going where it was like tune in every day with a crazy title and, dead people in the thumbnail sometimes. Like that much required to get people to watch. But then once they were in the news, now they're unstoppable.
They're in the news all the time.
Yeah.
Well, really, something that really annoyed me with them before
Because
they got a lot of hate.
I'm sorry, but what YouTube, I know this for a fact, what YouTube does is they look on the web, because they're Google, at what's being searched on Google.
Yes.
And they go, is there anything they can cross-reference here? And then they promote that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that too. H3 complains about that a lot.
Yeah. Love
but,
those guys.
Yeah, I do too. But I hated that every time I jumped on YouTube for like a year, it was like popular channels.
Yeah.
And it was these two guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I'm not watching their content. I don't need to continually see. And it was before they were really in the news. I didn't know anything about them. This was like a year ago. And it was always there. I'm like, let me check it out. And I'll watch like half of one of his videos, and it just like wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So why YouTube? Why do you keep pushing? Like I don't.
Yeah.
You recommended him. I checked him out. Recommend somebody
that
else.
That should be it. Right?
So that's part of why I think they grew so fast, and it was because they were putting out content people were watching. I mean that's a thing. But
people were
YouTube recommended them hard for a year. And that grew them a lot because they're right there. To everyone that logs into YouTube sees the Paul brothers.
I think it's like the teen mom phenomenon. I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of people that like to watch stupid shit.
Yeah. Well, he reminds. Well, you're close to my age, and you probably remember Tom Green on MTV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Logan Paul's similar, just not as funny.
But Tom Green's not going to go to Japan and just massively disrespect everybody. I mean, he might toe the line.
He did go to Japan once. Or was it China? I think he went to Japan, and he dressed up as a fork, and he was passing out T-shirts trying to get people to use forks instead of chopsticks.
Yeah.
But it was clever.
Yeah.
Whereas he's just...
being an asshole.
Yeah, it's an asshole factory.
But was Tom Green jumping on people's cars?
No. It wasn't. It was...
Like he's doing borderline getting arrested.
Yeah. It's just being an asshole versus... Tom Green was being an asshole in Japan. Or China, whatever he was.
Yeah.
It's just been a long time. I know the difference between China and Japan. But I just can't remember where he was. But it was more clever. It was like... There was more, I guess, artistic merit to it.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just...
I've seen
balls
people,
out.
Yeah.
I mean...
Speaking of balls out, I've seen people make the comparison between Jackass, right, like Johnny Knoxville, his style of humor, and Logan Paul. But I don't think that's an apt comparison either.
No, I don't
because the show's name is Jackass. They're even approaching it before you even see the content going, this is going to be really dumb shit.
It is, and it's a lot more self-deprecating than it is like doing things to other people. Yeah. Like they're respectful of other people on that. I'm trying to think of a time.
Like if Logan Paul's channel was A-hole entertainment, like you get it, right? But
and they're mostly doing stuff to each other.
Right.
They're not hurting animals.
Right.
They're not. I don't know. I'm trying not to misspeak, but they're.
But on the Japan thing, there is the party boy. Remember? What's his name?
He's running around in a thong.
Yeah. In the electronics shop in Japan.
Yeah. See, I don't think it's as much about disrespecting Japan as much as it's like.
No, I mean, he had that's an apples to apples.
Yeah, it is, but there's a difference between, I guess, dressing up in a thong and dancing because it's funny.
And he's turning on beat music.
Yeah,
so
it was funny.
Yeah.
I still think that's hilarious.
It's good content.
But
it's funny as hell.
But then he's got raw fish, and he's just like leaving them on somebody's taxi cab.
That's vandalism.
It is, and it's not funny.
It's not funny. It makes my palms sweaty. I'm like, someone's going to jail. Like, Jackass, they're just getting kicked out of the store. And they're going back to the hotel, and they're going to drink too much sake and go to bed. You know, but like...
But the Japan thing, too, had he not shown a dead body on his channel, no one would be really talking about him being disrespectful in Japan. Probably. It kind of is a wash. It's not really that big a deal. The dead body thing's crazy. I can almost see them filming it just because you're always filming, you're always having to do something. But then that got edited.
Yeah.
And multiple people... I mean, I guess he's king shit. He gets to make the decision. But... Nobody stopped him from going. No one said, dude, I don't think we can. Yeah. Because I didn't watch it. I didn't see it. I didn't go to the deep web and look for it. But apparently it was pretty fresh. It was like that day.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no bueno. Like,
I mean, it's just no good.
It's a bad move. And by the way, when I'm editing, just so you all know, like, I watch the same clip over and over and over and over.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. There's no way you just miss that. Like, it's
No.
not an accident.
No, it was the decision to put that up, and I think it's just he's got no concept of. You know, I kind of get it. I've always thought this way about celebrities, and he's like an uber celebrity. He's super young, got super famous, super rich, super fast. He's got no concept of reality.
Like
anymore.
Bieber, like when he was a kid, yeah.
Yeah. Now he might be maturing a little bit. I don't know, but he's got no concept of what works and what's acceptable. That's where that's coming from.
Dude, if I was Justin Bieber, I'd be celebrating right now that there's another asshole out there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he looks good by comparison now.
Yeah. And there'll probably be somebody else in 2 years, and
Yeah.
he'll be more. He'll tone it down, and he'll be fine making less than he's making right now. And,
Yeah.
I mean, probably.
Probably.
You know? But there we are talking about him.
Who do you look up to on YouTube?
On YouTube?
Changing the subject, yeah. Who do you look up to? Like, who's your channel where you go, if I could be that channel, I'd make it.
Oh, I don't know about being that channel. I've got a couple that have like inspired me, and I'm not trying to take anyone's format, but like DeFranco's a good example.
Well, imitation is the purest form of flattery. Like,
I think DeFranco's got a good moral compass, number one.
Yeah.
I think he's got a really good. He's good about sort of like saying the right thing fairly quickly.
Yeah.
It doesn't take him long to determine like where he should stand on something.
Right.
So I do respect that.
No, he doesn't pander.
And then also, I like his format, and I do try to emulate it a little bit in terms of just like delivering a bunch of content inside of 10, 15 minutes. Just give you like as much information as possible. So I do the quick jump cuts.
Mm-hmm.
I get some of that from him. So I like that, but I'm not necessarily aspiring to have 6 million followers with my sort of narrow form of content or anything like that.
Well, he's news. That's broad.
Yeah. I don't watch. I listen to it at work, but I put it on YouTube. Almost every single Joe Rogan podcast.
You like Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the dude.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the podcast.
Yeah.
He's real even-keeled on stuff. The guests he has on are incredible. Ultimately, when I get some more followers, I want to get to where I have regular guests, like filmmakers and stuff, even like small filmmakers that don't normally get much of a voice, outside of their work. I want to kind of get more into that and do sort of that format as well. So those are two that I watch weekly.
Yeah. Well, guys, channel's Flick Connection. Go check it out. Description below. There'll be a link there. My name's GARDNSOUND. This is Lyle the Bird, and this has been Darren. Thanks for being here.
All right, man. Yeah, thanks for
Take
having
care.
me.